everybody. I wanted to show you how to participate in this week's online discussions. We are not doing the online discussions in Blackboard using the regular discussion boards feature. Instead, your discussion will take place in a shared Google document. Google Docs is the theme for this week's discussion. So here you can see the write-up, the prompt for discussion, all about Google Docs. Essentially, I want you to go and play with it. Now, I say Google Docs. It's also referred to as Google Drive. Google Drive is the service that holds all of your Google Docs, and so people will use the terms synonymously. Don't worry too much about names. When you hear Google Docs, Google Drive, just think the exact same thing. And the idea here is that I want you to play around with Google Docs. Google Docs is like Microsoft Office, which is what we're studying and is a great program, but it's completely online. And that gives it some unique features. It constantly saves. Everything you do is saved in real time, along with every revision, every version of that document is saved and kept on Google servers. You also have the ability to share documents very easily. In fact, we're going to take advantage of that to participate in this week's discussion. And there's also types of documents you can't create elsewhere, and we'll show you some of those. So the idea here is that I want you to play with Google Drive. Here is the link to Google Drive. You can log in with the same username and password you would use for Gmail, Blogger, or YouTube if you use any of those services. If not, you can create a Google account. Good idea. You don't have to. I'll show you an alternative here in a second, but if you want to, jump in and play around in Google Drive. Here is Google Drive, kind of what it looks like, and just create a document. If I choose Create here, you can create folders to organize things. You can create documents. This would be like Word. You can create a presentation. This would be like PowerPoint. You can create a spreadsheet. This would be just like Excel. So the three programs that we're covering in this course. Down here, you see the ability to create a form. This is something you can only really do if you have access to something online. The idea is you create a form that people can actually check boxes and give input on. There's a link. You can give it out in email or whatever. And so then as people take this information, all of that data is collected and placed into a spreadsheet for you. So forms are kind of interesting, something you can only do in Google Docs. So the idea is just create something. Let's create a document here. We can call it whatever we want. Let's say my first Google Doc, and hit OK, and then just play around. I'm going to create a title. How would I change fonts in this program? Well, I've got some fonts here that I can choose from. Maybe I want trebuchet, bold. I want it to be really big. This is the exact same icon that we use for text color. I want it to be red. You can play around with Google Docs. Like I said, one of the big features is sharing. And so over here, we have a share button that you can then type in the email addresses of people you want to share the document with. And you can choose what level of permission you want them to have, whether they can edit the document, comment on the document, or actually just view the document, and that's it. So anyway, Google Docs, it's an interesting thing. Play around with it, see if you like it, see if you could use it perhaps for class or work or whatever. Now I'm going to get rid of this and say that if you do not want to create a Google account, I don't want you to ever have to create an account in order to complete an assignment. Down here I show a link to some videos on YouTube, and those videos will show you a lot of the features of Google Docs so that you can still have an opinion to express in your discussion. Now for the discussion itself, to actually make your post or your discussion idea, all right, you have to follow this link. Now you do not have to be signed in to use this. The way I've shared it, I use a share link that allows anybody who has the link to write to that document, to edit that document. So all you have to do is click on this, and it will say, I'm going to take you to an external site, and boom, here we go. This is a Google Docs specific to your section. All right, so only your class will have access to this document, and all you have to do is add a slide and kind of make it look like mine. So put your name at the top, share your thoughts about Google Docs. If you want to add a picture, you can, but all that is optional. Just your name and your thoughts are enough to get credit. So to do that, you can hit New Slide, or you can use this little arrow on the side to choose the layout of your slide. For most people, I would imagine you're going to want a title and body so that you have a place to put your name and a place to put your thoughts. So we click on that, and now I've got a new slide in the document, and I could type in my name. I'm going to say like so, and my thoughts are, this seems awesome! Exclamation point. You should probably write a few more words than that, but that's the general idea. If you do want to insert a picture, little picture icon right here, you can click on that and then choose a picture from your hard drive to place here in the document. Now once you're done, you don't have to hit save. Everything is saved in real time, and because the document is shared, I can see what people are doing. And in fact, if you happen to be editing this document while somebody else is editing the document, you'll actually see little icons pop up of people who are currently logged into the document, and you'll see them making changes and edits in real time as you're editing the document. It's one of the nice things about Google Docs. You can picture a situation where maybe for a class, you have to create a presentation together. Previously, in sort of the old days, you would have to meet together at the library, probably at like 6 o'clock at night, because that's the only time that people didn't have classes or work. And then you'd get together, you'd discuss stuff, then you'd have to go home, you'd have to work on stuff separately, try and merge it all together. The nice thing about Google Docs is you could just say, hey, let's all log in 6 o'clock tonight. We can do GChat or something else to communicate. And then you can actually edit the document and see what they're doing sort of in real time. It just makes collaboration for stuff like that a lot easier. So anyway, Google Docs, it's an interesting alternative to Microsoft Office. I'd like for you to play with it. I'd like for you to check it out. One of the biggest features for students is that it's completely free. Google, obviously just supports themselves with ads and other things. So it's kind of the television model. You get free access to the content. You just see ads every once in a while, or they use it for advertising sake. That's it. Google Docs. Hopefully you enjoy it. Make sure you get a post in here before the deadline. And that's it. Have a great week, and we'll see you online.